If you missed last week's episode, we talked about forgiveness. Check out a clip.
So, but some people, like, do you feel like you need to say sorry for what you did?
Do I feel like they need to say sorry to me?
Yes.
That comes back up like before. It's that, as far as forgiveness for me personally, I would love to hear you say sorry. If you came and I got a sincere, I apologize. And if you sprinkled that zesty sauce on top, that includes explaining to me why the devil you did what you did, then yes, it makes forgiving for me a little bit easier. But is my forgiveness contingent upon that? No.
Tonight on the Melanin Mindset, our topic is self-care, and we have a special guest for you. So let's get into it.
Welcome, everybody. You are tuned in live to the Melanin Mindset. And of course, I am the Nappy Dreamer.
And I'm Kia Blaine. Welcome this evening, guys.
So tonight we're going to be talking about self-care. Yes, self-care. We've been advertising all week. So if you're tuning in from an ad, welcome. Welcome. If it's your first time with us this evening, welcome. If you are back, welcome back. Okay, welcome back. We are so happy that you have joined us again tonight. So with the topic of self-care, we are going to get really selfish tonight. Okay, we're going to get really selfish tonight. So I know most commonly we hear, save yourself before you can help somebody else, right? But in a panicky situation, typically that's nearly impossible. So with that being said, tonight we are not going to put any pressure on anybody. We are not going to be putting you in a high risk situation. We are going to have you focus in on yourself in a calm and welcoming atmosphere. So if you are excited, please let us know where you're viewing us from tonight. Don't forget to hit that like, turn on those notification bells if you are watching us on YouTube, and subscribe as well. Kia, you want to talk to the people about what we're getting into this evening?
Okay, so tonight we're talking about self-care. And so let's start with a definition of self-care. So I'm just going to read it the way it is. It says, self-care is the practice of taking an active role in protecting one's own well-being and happiness, in particular during periods of stress. And with that, also, I want to kind of put an emphasis on what well-being is. Well-being is a state of being comfortable, happy, and healthy. So when you think of self-care, you have to take into account all of those. It's not just about, primp and pampering. It's about your health, your mental state, your happiness, and being comfortable in yourself.
So true. So true. So when we get into self-care, we're just going to hit some lighthearted things before we dig into the reason we're really here tonight, okay? So with self-care, it can be something as simple as sitting in silence, spending time all by yourself. It does not require money. So just that moment where we prepare to even come on live to talk to you all on Monday night, us preparing ourselves, doing our makeup, I'm telling you, that to me is a little bit of self-care in and of itself, because when I put all of this together, I really start to feel myself. And so, yeah, that is a form of healthy self-care for me. Something basic that doesn't cost me anything extra from day to day.
Yeah, I mean, just playing music, getting dressed, like putting your makeup on, and like most of the time, I'm only dressed from the waist up. But it's a form of self-care. I picked out my little earrings with my little Aquarius on it,
right?
And I felt good about myself.
Yes. So as I sat right here in front of this camera preparing to get on here tonight, put my lip gloss on, and yes, I'm keeping it nearby because tonight I'm keeping all of this together just for y'all. I'm keeping all of this together tonight. That's it. So I'm sure you did not only show up just to talk to us this evening. We said it was going to be a perspective coming from both myself and Kia, and a male. So we did advertise to you all that we have a special guest joining us this evening. His name is Alan, and he actually has, I'm going to let him introduce himself, honest to goodness, because I don't want to call it a podcast, but he has Newman's Hot Takes. He is definitely one to give some good insight on the male perspective on our topic this evening. So I want you all to go ahead and welcome Alan Newman. Thank you so much for being here with us this evening, Alan.
Thank you. How are you ladies doing?
We're doing well, thank you.
Awesome.
Alan, you can go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Okay, my name's Newman Jr. Friends call me Newman. Of course, as the Nappy Dreamer said, I have my own podcast called Newman's Hot Takes. And also She Said What that just ended last week. Hopefully, I will be able to bring a unique perspective on self-care, especially when it comes to Black men and Black people as a whole. So,
Awesome.
So Gia, go ahead and kick us off tonight.
Let's just go ahead and dive in. We're gonna start with basic self-care. So your basic self-care, and as basic as these things are, I feel like sometimes we get so busy that we don't even take the time to do this. So of course your daily grooming is gonna be your basic self-care. Everybody's gonna look a little different. But I mean, basic grooming as far as like you get up, you wash your face, you brush your teeth, you shower, hopefully.
Put a little lotion on them elbows, girl. Put a little lotion on them elbows.
A little lotion on, a little coconut oil, shea butter. Get your skin all nice and smooth. Your skincare. A lot of people kind of neglect your skincare. Sometimes we could do a little more than just the wet washcloth. Let's do a little cleanser. Let's do a little exfoliant, and let's do a little moisturizing. And that's basic. That's basic. So if you're not doing that, I'm gonna need y'all to at least cleanse, exfoliate, and moisturize. Okay, keeping your gentlemen with your beards groomed, women groom your beards too, and your mustaches.
A little concealer never hurt anybody. And sis, if you are okay with the hair growing from your face, we are not knocking you tonight. All right.
But
so,
I mean,
that could be even getting your wax done though.
Take the time to address those things. Like, don't act like they're just not there. Like, if you grooming yourself, it's important. Those basic things. And I know being a mother of 5 and rushing out of the house sometimes, all I got was that wet washcloth on the face. So this is what we're talking about, is taking that time out, getting up a few hour early, 30 minutes early, so that you can take that self time and really take your time and brush your teeth for more than 10 seconds.
So we're going to move into the next thing, which is really working from home. So all 3 of us in some way, shape, or form work from home. In some way, shape, or form, we are working from home. I work, as I told you all when we introduced ourselves, I do work a mainstream job. I do own a small business, but my primary work is a mainstream job, and I do that from home. I run my small business from home. Kia runs an actual salon, full service, from her house. Okay? And Alan has also shared with us that he works from home doing customer service. He'll give more details on that. So, with that being said, do you all feel like working from home has taken a toll on your ability to provide adequate self-care for yourself?
And you would actually think that because you're home, you would take more time. But it just seems like because I'm home, I'm gonna wait to the very last minute to walk across this house to service a client. So it still feels like I'm rushing myself, even though it makes no sense. I don't have to commute anywhere. I should, but what is that mental block that still makes me procrastinate when I don't have to? Like, it's right here. I should come out of here beat every day. I got plenty of time. Face should be beat. I should be glowing and everything. But honey, coming here on a Friday afternoon, you're not getting this. You're not getting
it. Girl, you won't get this but on a Monday afternoon or a Sunday morning, please. So what about you, Alan?
Repeat the question again, Marquita, because I was so caught up in her answer. So I was like...
You work from home.
Home. How do you feel as though working from home has affected your self-care regimen?
I feel like working from home made me become a little lazy. I ain't even gonna lie. It made me become a little lazy just because, if you got to go into the office, you play closer attention to the details of putting yourself up. You're like, I need to wear this. I need to dress this way. I need to brush my teeth a little longer. I need to make sure my face don't look dusty, as my mom would say. But then when you work from home, it's like, my shift starts at 10. I could stay in bed till like 9:50, 9:55.
I was gonna say 9:55.
It's so bad.
Log into my computer, watch loading up, go and lay back down for a minute, get up, and since nobody got to see my face, just log in my little shorts and white beater and go about my business.
Not the white beater.
That's how I like that. I have a blanket wrapped around, and I'm just sitting there with my little sippy sip and just getting on with my day. And pray that nobody wants to see me on camera, like, because literally that request is about to be denied. But that's kind of how it started when, like, they first sent us working from home for my company. We started March 27th of 2020 when COVID first started hitting. So that's when they first started sending us home. Then towards, as I've started getting to a routine and I have a second job, now it's gotten to the point where I get off from the second job, get home, go to sleep. I try and get up a little early so I can be presentable. But overall, I've gotten better. But overall, it was just like, yeah, I'm about to be bummy this entire 8-hour shift. And ain't nobody about to say nothing about it. So that's literally how
nobody better not say nothing. Listen, I'm guilty of the exact same things. I work from home. My bedroom is literally a door and a half down from my office. And so I'll get up, I'll get half together, eyes usually not all the way even open yet. And I'm sitting on the computer logging in. Okay. If somebody were to ask me to get on the camera, yeah, it wouldn't go in my favor.
Yeah, that request is being denied.
It wouldn't go in my favor.
So do you feel like because you've gotten so used to like last minute getting ready for work, when it's time for you to like actually go somewhere, do you feel like it takes you longer to get ready than it did before?
Not for me. Not for me. I'm a stickler for not being late to stuff. So even though like working from home has gotten me to the point where I push the limit, like y'all said, self-care, I got to make sure I have a whole regimen. I got to make sure I got the beard lathered up. I got to make sure I got the shea butter, the mango shea butter that I prefer to use to get ready. So like it takes a minute. Like I tell everybody, I'm definitely that dude that takes like a 20-30 minute shower. Then it takes me a minute to get ready. So yeah, I can't afford, because if I'm supposed to meet you at 7:30 and I call myself hopping up at like 6:30, yeah, you probably gonna see me till like 8. So.
Because unlike what we would probably think about men, you have a grooming regimen to get ready.
Got to. This dark skin cannot afford to walk out here with ashy knuckles. Like, absolutely not.
I'm glad to hear that from another male, because I thought it was just my husband. I feel like my husband takes forever to get ready. I am always ready first.
Girl, listen, Kia, you already know my husband takes forever to get ready.
But he always smelling good, skin nice. I guess it takes that. Yeah.
Nah, the other day I had to go somewhere and I forgot to lotion my hands. I didn't realize until I was driving. I pulled over and stopped at a store real quick. I said, let me get some cocoa butter real quick. Like, nah.
Not the pit stop for the cocoa butter.
Oh, I had to stop real quick. I was like, nah, they won't be judging me in here. Talking about, you saw that man's hands? Them things were ashy. Nah,
oh, my goodness. No, yeah. And I also feel like, with COVID, with us being on quarantine, like, we weren't going nowhere. So what was your self-care regimen during COVID?
Absolutely nothing. Like, I wasn't seeing nobody. Nobody was seeing me. Like, nah, I take that shower, brush my teeth. That's about it. Because I'm not going nowhere. That was about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was no makeup to be found. I had to piece my makeup back together when it was time to go back outside.
Oh, I ain't had to piece it, but mine was still there, full.
Like there were
full,
pieces
ready to go.
No, you know how you leave your makeup brushes in the bathroom and stuff like that randomly. Yeah, I had to get my brush game back up, because who knows? They were probably in the trash somewhere.
They done got thrown to the wayside.
Yeah, they had just basically gone to So I had to piece my stuff together. And during COVID, I don't know about y'all, but I was not getting dressed every day. I would go from a pair of pajamas to another. I had no problem with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool being in my shorts and my raggedy shirt with the stain on it from the hair color.
Yeah.
I was okay with that. You know
And
what I mean?
yeah.
That was fine during COVID.
Yeah, and then we had to kind of snap out of it a little bit.
Absolutely.
Some people still stuck in neutral. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely tell some people were stuck when I went out to go get my Thanksgiving shopping, and there was quite a few times I looked at people and I said, "Did you? I know you just grocery shopping, but you could have got that crust out your eye." Like girl, what is the bonnet an accessory? Like you got your bonnet up here and then your hair hanging down at like what?
I peeped that, but
are you trying to cover up? I think they trying to cover up their new growth.
I think it might be. Maybe the lace is lifted and they trying to cover
maybe
it.
the braids is fuzzy, but I didn't get it. I was like,
I don't
girl,
understand.
you cute if you take the bonnet off, but it's just
No, I'm serious. Me, I have locks, so even with the fresh retwist, I'm not tying my hair up. So you're not gonna catch me out with a bonnet on my head. So I don't know how the bonnet situation works when they have their hair hanging out and then just the bonnet, or maybe it's the hat. It's a hat, like a beanie.
Yeah, that was a set. She had the same bonnet I got I got that same bonnet, so I know it's a bonnet.
But what I'm saying is maybe she's wearing like a hat.
The funny thing is, though, I'm starting to see dudes kind of rocking the bonnets when they go out.
Because when they go out, that's because you live in Florida.
Woo!
Facts. You know what? I ain't even about to
wait. Not just Florida, Central Florida.
Facts. I was shocked. I went to a Target and homeboy had a bonnet on. I was like, maybe he got locks or something. So as you can see, I don't have no hair, so I can't say nothing for the bonnet crew. Like, yo, I wish I could walk around in the bonnet.
A lot of guys are wearing bonnets now, though, that have longer hair. Even if it's just like an afro or they just have longer hair. TikTok has opened our eyes to a lot of things. So you got a lot of guys wearing bonnets. If they have more than an inch of hair, they feel the need to wear a bonnet.
They trying to protect it. It's to protect your hairstyle, right?
It's self-care. They're protecting their hair.
It's self-care. That's what we're gonna call it, self-care. Okay. But with that being said, did you pick up anything new? Like, did you discover the necessity for self-care during COVID? I can say for myself, I did. That's where I realized that self-care was most important, because being left alone with your own thoughts was not always safe.
Yeah.
And that's full disclosure. Yeah. So I discovered during COVID that self-care was going to be something that I definitely needed to incorporate in my day-to-day.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I almost feel like you got forced into addressing your thoughts because you found yourself a lot of times just thinking. And it's like there was no interruption because you had nowhere to go. And so you and those thoughts were stuck together for quite some time.
Yes, very true. I really feel like it. I tell everybody, like, people look at me like a social butterfly, and I tell people I feel like COVID made me tap into the anti-social side of me. Just because you had nobody to really deal with other than if you were on social media during the lockdown.
Okay.
You really wasn't seeing nobody other than social media. And then let's be honest, social media can be fun for a minute. Then you get those people start annoying you. Then you pretty much done with social media for a minute. So that was happening. I feel like when it first started, it was like, yes, I can do it. Like, I'm a part-time gamer. So working from home was like, yeah, I'm about to be sitting here on the clock, but I'm also about to be over here gaming in the living room at the same time. So I was like, you know what? It is what it is. I was like, I'm about to catch up with some games. I've been sitting here collecting dust, catch up with my homeboys. I'm gonna be good. But then, like we talked briefly last week, when my dad passed, October of 2021, that's kind of when everything hit home. Because with COVID, even though we were able to have a funeral with him, it had to be a small, intimate gathering. When he passed, everything happened so fast, so you really didn't get a chance to unpack everything that happened. So that put me in a realm is when I'm at home, my entire thought process was, I miss my dad. I wish I could talk to him. And I didn't really, it's easy for people to say, hey, if you need anything, I'm here for you. Just call me if I'm here for you. It's easy to say that. It's different when the person reaches out to you and you can't make the time that you told them if they needed it. I had a bunch of people who was like, Alan, call me whenever, message me whenever. And when I reached out and did it, I got to put you on a schedule. Let me let you know when I'm available. And that really put me in a space of in my mind, like, bruh, like life really does go on when people die. Like if it's not affecting them, it's not really going to be as important to them. So during COVID, I kind of had to deal with those thoughts. And then people laugh. I'm not ashamed of it. Y'all laughed last week. I was a hellion in my late teens, early 20s.
He used that word again. He said hellion, y'all. He said hellion.
I was a straight problematic son, and not like
a hellion.
Not problematic. Like some parents, like my parents would always say they was grateful for having me and my sister, but I also was realistic about myself. Like what I was doing was crazy. And so I dealt with a lot of regret. And there's a lot of things I wanted to do for my dad before he passed. And so now in my head, you're playing these thoughts like, well, now you're not going to be able to do none of that. When you have kids, he won't be here for his grandkids. When you get married, he won't be here when you get married. He won't be here for this. He won't be here for that. So I'm battling all those mental battles in my head. Mind you, as Marquita knows, I started this whole empowering Black women and advocating for Black women. So literally these thoughts are running through my head. People don't know this. All they see is, oh, here comes Alan. He's about to sit here talking about, hey, Cocoa Puffs, here's your inspirational word for the day.
Every day.
People don't realize inside I'm like dying. Like I'm dying inside. Like every day I'm dropping videos, motivating everybody else. But in my head, I'm like, yo, there's nobody picking up on how I'm feeling and how I'm just, not to the point like I want to end it all, but it was just like not motivated at all. And that's kind of when push came to shove. I've been talking about it most recently. I just started seeing a therapist. I think the best thing that I could have ever done was sign up to see a therapist that I meet with once a month to talk with. Had my first session last month. Second session is going to be this next week. It put a lot of perspective about self-care because that was the first thing she asked me. She was like, Alan, when's the last time since COVID has started opening up a little bit, have you went on vacation just you? And I'm like, never. And she's like, no. I'm like, let's serious. Like if you're doing self-care, you need to be able to go, mom and sister, let them do their thing. You need to go take care of yourself. You need to go, if it's a spa day, if you need to go sit there. And for the fellas who do it, if you're going to go get that little manicure or whatever, you're just going to sit there and just do what you love to do. Because one thing I've noticed, especially when it comes to men, we tend not to really pay attention to how they are handling mental issues because we've been raised in a standpoint of he's a guy, he'll handle it, he'll figure it out. And sometimes you can't figure it out, especially by yourself if you're in uncharted territories. I tell everybody, the one fraternity that I don't think nobody really prepares you for is losing a child or losing your parent. Because you've always known your parent as your superhero. Nothing could stop them. Anything that knocked them down, they got back up. And then you get hit with this reality, look, man, he's not coming back. I don't have that sounding board for me. I don't have that person who's like, yo, JR, you need to do this. Like, I don't have that outlet for me. So with COVID, it put a lot of things in perspective. Like I said, when COVID first started, I really wasn't big on self-care. I was like, yes, this is time for me to just whatever. But then when life comes at you, you start realizing like, I need to take this stuff into consideration. I need to do this. I need to be unapologetic in protecting my bubble. And you may lose friends. You may lose associates. People may look at you differently, but you will feel a whole lot better because at the end of the night, if I'm at home crying over the fact that I don't have my dad, no one's there saying it's going to be okay, Alan. This is how it's going to be. That no one's there on those dark times when you're by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I kind of went on a tangent, but yeah.
You
It's
did.
okay. It's okay.
It was good. It was great.
It was
You
definitely
know what
good.
was interesting? Like you said, like you were outgoing, and then when it was like you didn't have to be, you were like, oh, bet I can just be in my. I would say I was the opposite. I think I was more of the like I stay to myself, I stay in the house, I didn't want to go nowhere. And now I'm like, if somebody like you want to go, I'm like, yes, let's go. I'm like, now I'm like, all right, I'll be back, y'all. I'm gone. Because now it was like during COVID, I kind of felt like, dang, you know how many times I said no? You know how many missed opportunities I got to like fellowship with other people, and I would just be like, next time, next time. And then like now COVID hit, shoot, it might not have
COVID
been
was
a
like
next time.
Eminem. COVID was like Eminem. Next time, there will be no next time.
Exactly. So now I'm like, I still, think about it, but if I don't have an excuse not to go, I'm like, yeah, all right, bet I'm coming.
Right. When you got cooped up in the house for all that time and you were really stuck by yourself, like
Yeah.
these are people you've loved your whole life, people who you depend on to be there for you, and then it's like now we're all shut in the house and nobody can go anywhere. Like, you mean to
Yeah.
tell me I cannot hug my family? And anybody
Yeah.
who knows my family knows we don't know what a handshake is.
Yeah.
So you're telling me I can't hug my family? Like,
yeah.
okay. And
Yeah, because
so it definitely left you alone with your thoughts
yeah,
in
because
the
when you
hard
think about
times.
it, most people, depending on when your particular area shut down, I don't think when we shut down, I didn't see my parents until my birthday, July 17th,
Wow.
in person.
Yeah.
Mm.
Did not see them into that. We utilized FaceTime because me and my mom has an iPhone. So usually when she's out with dad, she would checking on you, FaceTime me, and that's how we would talk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We then became the communicators through these devices now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's not the same.
It's not at all.
It's
It's
not the
not at
same.
all. See, like Kia and I can sit on Messenger and talk all day, but that was pre-COVID too. So that's not new. Okay. We could sit and have a conversation forever. But the problem was that not being able to see my friend
Yeah.
during this period of time. You get what I'm saying? And then also the way COVID affected my family, the lives COVID touched, the lives COVID took. You get what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
with all of that, it's like it's wrecking your brain. Self-care was at the bottom of my itinerary during that frame of time. And it was primarily because my biggest acts of self-care, anybody who knew me before I moved to Georgia, okay? Anybody who knew me before I came here, they knew every other week I was getting my nails done. My lashes stayed on point and these eyebrows was snatched, okay? If I took if any given time during COVID, if I would have rubbed makeup off at a time that I might have had some on, my eyebrows were the furthest thing from done. And I was doing my own lashes at home. Why? Because I couldn't go out and do these things. I couldn't go and do these basic things that I would do as a normal part of my life. And so it forced me into like this box where I think that might have been the downward spiral where I worked from home beforehand. I could have worked remote because I had the same position before COVID as I had during COVID. But since I had the opportunity to be remote, I would be at home every now and again. But during the prior COVID, I used to get up, get dressed, go to the office, beat my face just because. And my commute was 30 plus minutes, but I'd still get up and go into the office. When I stayed home, I'd be up and I'd be on camera. But when COVID happened, all of those efforts subsided.
Yeah.
So it was almost like a psychological shakeup, for lack of better words, because all of the efforts went by the wayside. And it's like you're forced to now live. And I know there are places that are less fortunate. I know that. But when you are used to your norm, and then it's just all of the sudden taken away.
Yeah.
That's the thing that ran into. We got some comments out here. Thank you all so much for joining. It was weird when you were wanted to shake hands. Let me see here, pull it up. When you want to shake hands or give a hug,
Oh
and
yeah,
then you
especially
caught
when you first
yourself
got
to give a
outside.
fist bump.
Yeah, I remember like first going back outside and going shopping and running into people that I normally would see, and we would automatically hug, and it was like, oh,
Mhm.
hey, yeah.
Bruh, I attacked when the first time I saw Kia, well, because COVID is still happening, but the
Yes.
first time that I saw Kia, when it was okay enough, you know what I'm saying? That was the first thing. When we got there in the same space, it was like, ugh, I want to squeeze you, like, ugh,
It was so
And
awkward.
but it's like normally we see each other, we embrace, we hug, you know what I mean? But it was just like, it's been so long. I didn't touch my friend. I felt like Celia on The Color Purple when she saw Nettie and she was grabbing her face. Like, that's how I felt the first time I saw my friend during COVID, because
Yeah.
it was crazy. And COVID definitely took a toll. It took a toll. So Lori also said her favorite thing to do during COVID was to wear perfume. It just made her feel good. Lori, that is a good one. That's a good one. Like, just freshen up and you just feel, yeah. I think we did. Didn't we do the I think we did that challenge during COVID. The don't rush.
Oh, I feel like some
yeah.
people did that challenge during COVID.
We did that at the beginning of COVID. Yeah, we did the don't rush challenge, and I mean, everybody was on ours. Okay,
and look, and that was hard because, like you said, we had done threw the makeup and everything to the wayside, and I'm like, well, I gotta find a cute wig. Well, wait, I gotta find some makeup.
I gotta remember how to cut this crease. I can't remember how to contour. Like, where's my highlight? I don't have no highlight. I look like I got black eyes.
I did.
All of that.
So it's like going through all of that. So what does self-care look like on the regular? So we talked about how it shook up during COVID, and we talked about how, we can do basic things, and are we slacking because we work from home? But like, if I were to ask you, Newman, if I was to ask you, what do you think it is if a female or someone of the opposite sex were to tell you that she needs to indulge more in self-care, what comes to your mind when you hear a woman saying that she is, trying to work on self-care and building herself?
First of all, who credit card you burning up? Because I know a part of self-care for y'all is shopping. So first of all, that's the first question I'm going to ask.
Really?
Who credit card you burning up? I'm just kidding.
I hit the wrong button. I meant to boo. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. It just dawned on me. I hit laughter. That was supposed to be a boo. A distinct. That was.
Wow. I mean, truth hurts.
Man.
I'm just playing, but literally when I hear women talk about self-care, and this is being realistic, just because of seeing the women that are in my life. A lot of self-care for women, spa days, just like I said, it's cool for dudes to have, but I do know for a fact women, especially y'all sisters, y'all be real prepared for a spa day and a massage day. Like, y'all be going full frontal when it comes to self-care. And a lot of women in general.
Was that a pun? Full frontal?
No, it was not. No, it was not.
Talking about a wig, just to clear that up. A wig.
I also feel like if we're not if we're talking about prior to COVID and now after, women are going to go on vacation real quick. It is nothing for y'all to get y'all homegirls and be like, yo, we going away for the weekend. That could be a big part of self-care because you're recharging your battery. Or simple things is, if you've been blessed with a decent sized tub and you get you some nice smell good, you just fill that tub up, get it as hot as you want it, fill it up and just relax in the tub. Got the candles playing, got the music going, and you just
vibe. Let me tell you, that thing will have your mind so right.
I was like, is he really telling your story? Is he telling your story right now?
Oh my goodness. So I do have bathtubs in both of my bathrooms. But I do want my bathrooms done over because my tubs are just not quite the size I want them to be. So on one of my self-care adventures, I went to the hair show by myself, drove by myself, listened to my music. I ain't got to fight and worry about what nobody else want to listen to. But this hotel room had the biggest bathtub. I found the closest Walgreens to go get me some bubble bath.
See?
I laid in that tub. It was so relaxing. Like, it was unlike a bath. Just, I felt like a new person. I was like,
And it's
ready.
funny.
I
It's
am ready
funny
to
because
take over the world now.
exactly, and it's funny because people we compartmentalize and say this is what men should be doing for self-care if they do it, and this is just meant for women to self-care. Yo, if y'all can find a tub that can hold a 6'4" person, let me know. Let me know, because I've only ran into one tub where I could actually fit in, like legs stretched out. Like all these other tubs suck. So, like, if you take the time,
I guess I could see that, because even that big tub I was in, if I was any taller, I probably wouldn't have been able to extend my legs all the way.
See, like, so
he's gonna be in there hugging his kneecaps.
Yeah. Like,
in the tub, hugging his
funny,
kneecaps.
And the funny thing, I was never really a candles person until this past Christmas, and I guess, God, what is that candle store that everybody runs to for the holidays?
Yankee.
Or Bed Bath and
Body
Works. Bath and Body
Works or Yankee Candles.
So my mom, I guess they be having that special where you can get like 3 for like, so she's sitting here buying racks on racks on racks for these things. And so like, I took a couple home with me and I was like, let me see what the big deal is. And so like, put one in both my bathrooms in my apartment and one in the living room. And so one night I was like, you know what? I need to relax. I need to downtime. I'm going to make this tub work. Got me some Smell Good, got the candles up, turned the lights off, had the music playing, fell asleep, woke up so refreshed. And I was like, yo,
I'm telling you, man, it's nothing.
The ladies are onto something with this whole taking a bath with the candles. Like, I felt like $120 million. Like, that's literally how I felt. And it's amazing because I do believe a lot more men need to be proactive in taking self-care. And I understand a lot of them say they're too busy, but you got to make time. And I think that's the biggest misnomer we have is people think they're too busy for self-care. And one thing I have learned, if you do not take care of yourself, and if you die, these jobs will have your position posted within 48 hours of you dying and not care about you. And I know this firsthand because of when I got sick in 2017. Got sick, was in the hospital for a month. I ended up finding out from my boss that our director was like, when can Alan come back in the office? Can he come and stand in the office? And my boss is literally like, Alan has a hole in his leg. Alan almost lost his leg, and you guys are asking when he's coming back in the office.
When he coming back? When
that happened, I knew then, whatever happens to you, no matter how long you've been at your job, no matter how loyal you've been at your job, they will let you go if they get an inkling that they don't need you. So that also helped me.
Or that you can't do what they need.
Exactly. Yeah. Self-care is very, very important. And like I said, when it comes to the ladies, it's either you guys burning up something. If you got your husband is significant other, you burn up his credit card. You burn up his credit card, or you going on adventures with your best friends. And then some people, I have friends, their self-care mode is they like to cook. They like to bake. They want to bake their house down.
Let me know where they at so we can come self-care while they cook. I'm a self-care and watch them cook.
Oh, that's that good self-care. Yeah, see, but for me, I am opposite of you all. So the bathtub is enticing and it sounds good, right? But for me, I could sit in complete silence alone. Mm-hmm. And it's so soothing to me. Like, I mean, complete silence. If a bath is involved in the process, that's wonderful too.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I am just as content sitting in the silence. I can sit in my den, no TV on, no nothing, no phone call, no nothing, just sitting in complete silence with my own thoughts. Now, mind you, when we were quarantined for COVID, that nearly sent me crazy. But now it's like I've gotten so connected to, you know, oh, somebody found your bathtub, Alan. Oh, man.
Oh, listen, and if you want to listen, if you in Florida, you want to try that tub, it's the Peabody in Orlando. That
Oh,
tub,
okay.
that
It's
tub is
it's
amazing.
called the Hyatt Regency now.
Oh, it's called the Hyatt Regency now.
Oh,
It used to be-
on
that's right. It's
iDrive.
people I didn't know. Okay.
But
Yes,
yeah,
that tub was everything.
I can sit in my
But back
car,
to you sitting in
complete
silence.
silence as well. Or I
That
could just
D
play my jams. Like before we came on live, I was like, there were some particular songs that I just had to get out of my self somehow. I just had to get it out. So I'm like, I'm just gonna play these songs real quick and then jam, and then we're gonna come live. Hey, yes, I got somebody who enjoys sitting in silence.
You
But
know
what?
what's interesting about the whole sitting in silence? I feel like it's more something I'm getting used to now. Like as I've said before, I have 5 kids, a husband. My mom's usually here. My nephew, like silence is not a thing. So when it's usually if it's silence, I'm thinking everybody must be dead. So if it's really quiet in my house, my first thing is to get up and walk around to see where everybody is. And then I'm like, okay, everybody's fine. Let me just sit in the quiet. But it's this whole process for me. I have to get out of my head that everybody's not dead. Just enjoy the silence. Like I really be like, oh, something's wrong. It's too quiet.
And you know what? I have to agree with Marquita with the silence thing. I think one thing people have to dispel though, because I've seen this happen when people find out you're silent, they think something's wrong.
Always.
And sometimes it's not. Like I'm a big advocate for the D&D on your phone because I actually have 3 separate times on my phone where my D&D goes off. Yeah, sometimes silent is the best thing. Sometimes
when
it's
your what
best
goes on?
The do not disturb on your phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I got 3 separate times on my phone during the day where I have the do not disturb on my phone. And a lot of people tend to look like if you're quiet, something's wrong. And literally, I'm just alone with my thoughts, or I'm just not thinking about nothing. I'm just here
quiet
in the moment. And especially for me, like I can get where Marquita's coming from because working 2 jobs, it's hardly ever any downtime. So to have that moment where I could just lay back and just be like, yes, nobody's calling me, no one's asking me questions, like it is an amazing feeling, which I actually believe a lot of people should, at least if you have the time, at least 30 minutes of just silence and just chill. Because sometimes that's the best self-care you need. Your mind's not running and people's not demanding of you. Now I know for you having a house full, that's tough.
It's not anymore because they're older and they literally just go into their own corners and are so quiet. And then it's just like, I'm like, is anybody home? And then, oh yeah, everybody's here. Everybody's just quiet.
Yeah, I think the silence is so important to me primarily because up until recently, my primary job was literally to talk all day. So I think silence got to be a thing for me because my job was literally to talk all day. With that, it was just like, it was so much that I've spent my whole day either myself talking or listening to somebody else talk. Now my days are filled with me listening to somebody else talk, but we're not going to talk about that. So that it's just like the silence aspect of things is just so important to me. Now, when it comes down to financially though, I don't think there's a restriction on what you can do to care for yourself. You don't have to have a ton of money to engage in self-care. You don't.
Yeah. Sometimes though, I think I see a lot of women who, you got to get the nails done every 2 weeks. You got to get the hair done every 2 weeks. And it becomes so much of a, like, I can't see this little new growth on my nail. But it's like, sometimes it's self-care. And then sometimes I feel like it's
obsessive.
You're deflecting from something else. You're using it so that you don't have to, really focus on something else that might be bothering you. Which in which case, heck, I guess it's still self-care. It helps you not feel stressed out about something else.
Right.
But, shoot, nails and stuff is expensive these days. I do hair. I know I'm expensive. Like
you know what? I got a question. What's the average price to get your nails done?
Oh,
nowadays?
I pay about $65. Between $65 or more.
Girl, you
for a
Yeah.
better
full
go to
set.
Walmart and get
The
them press-on
cheapest
nails
I
and make
pay,
your
and I
Reese's
don't even
Boom.
get all the extra stuff. I pay 50, and I honestly think I pay 50 because I was the girl teacher. But no, yeah, anywhere from 50
Wow.
to 120.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could go before I moved here to Georgia. When I was in Orlando, me going to do my self care, I could walk out of there and spend easily just short of $200.
Yeah,
Lashes, eyebrows, nails, feet.
yeah.
But
If
But
you want me to
listen,
make
professional
everything,
services, because some, after you pass a certain age, and any women out there who have crossed past the good old 30 number, things start to change. Okay. So if you need to get
yes,
waxed, that's extra money. Okay. If you
yes,
need to wax a lot of stuff, that's extra money. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, we are being like, we're full disclosure out here. So
yes.
it's like,
If
I'll
you
go get
need
waxed.
full
I
face
wax
wax,
every all of this gets waxed, y'all. Listen. If I were to let this rock, a big part of my self-care is to be sure I go and wax, and I go and keep my eyebrows together. I do my own eyebrows now, but before it was like a big ordeal for me. Like, go get your eyebrows waxed, get your face waxed, all of that. You know what I mean? So it's just, as part of that self-care, that is the expensive part. But that bath that Kia was talking about, you can go to the Dollar Tree and rack up on some supplies and take that bath. And a lot of hotels, they cost money. But in your house, you can have she said, I wax everything.
everything.
At home, you can make yourself that bath, get in that bathtub and chill. Get you some Epsom salt and a little bit of your shower gel. Put a little extra shower gel. You'll get a lot of bubbles.
Yeah. Now, see, that's where I kind of battle a little bit. I'm that. If anybody knows me and my husband, we are I could do that. I could do that. So we're gonna figure out how to do it. If I can save some money and figure out how to do it myself, I'm gonna do it myself. But sometimes I gotta tell myself, like, you work hard. Go get your nails done. Go let somebody else do your feet. Go let somebody else do your nails. But I am very quick to be like, nah, I'm gonna save this money and I will do it myself. Like, who you trying to be cute for? Yeah. So
and for those, because I don't want people, like you said, it is expensive, but I don't think you can put a price on self-care.
yeah,
That's the biggest thing.
The value of it.
Yeah, you can't put a price on it. I mean, at the end of the day, if it makes you feel 100% whole and 100% the person that you're trying to be, you need to do what you got to do. I think the biggest thing that people run into is when people are trying to copy other people and do what other people do that doesn't necessarily work for you. Like,
Alan, you diving over into some other conversations there.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Nah, go ahead, carry it on. Go ahead. We're gonna let you go.
No. I'm not trying to dive into another conversation. I'm just saying, we got to be careful, because like Carla said, like, she does it for her. She does it because she wants to feel pretty. Like, you can't put a price on that. You walk different. You move different. Like, good example. Y'all tease us men about when we get that fresh cut and that shape up and how we be sitting there walking when we go about. Like, y'all the same way. Y'all get that new hairdo done. Y'all get that makeup done. You get the nails done. You're not necessarily trying to sit there and do no thirst trap, but you want people to be able to be like, like, I want to look good for myself.
Yeah.
That's a big fact. It's me putting myself together is definitely a big deal to me. Like, the way I present myself. If I'm at home chilling, that's one thing. But when I go out, the way I put myself together, like, it's a whole production. And it's not like a production that is exhausting. Like, this is fun for me.
Good.
It feels good, especially if you turn your jams on. You get your jams playing. Man, please. And then don't let yourself catch yourself in a mirror somewhere after you got those eyebrows just right. Sometimes that is all the self-care that you need. Like, to just that moment when you feel and you encourage that moment in yourself. Like, you feel like, oh my gosh, I look good. And you don't say, nah, no, I don't. But you really reinforce that within yourself. And I know it's hard, ladies. I know it's hard, gentlemen. But it's just, it's a big part of your mental health and encouraging yourself and your well-being and just being the best version of self that you can be.
And you learn a lot. I can use my mom as a good example. She's never had a massage at all. In her 61 years of being on this planet, never had a massage at all. Sat there and had a professional do a massage last month. This woman texted me, "Hey, can you go half with me once a month so I can get this massage done?" Oh, ma'am, you've been introduced to something you've never had before. And she loved it. And sometimes you can introduce something new to yourself that you had no clue was something you need. So self-care is very important. And like I said, you can't put a price on it. You really can't put a price on it. You want to look good. Matter of fact, there's a restaurant that I go to about once a month. Kind of pricey, but I go because they cater to me specifically. Like I go by they know me by name. And even that is a sign, for me, is a way of self-care, because I'm used to having to wait on people hand and foot. It's really different when you have
it's about you.
That are waiting on you hand and foot. Like I literally walked in, "Oh, Alan, how are you doing?" And like people in line is like, and it was like, "Your usual seat?" I'm like, "Well, thank you." Like it's completely different.
Why, yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes, I'll take that. Mm-hmm.
So it changes your perspective on a lot of stuff when you are focused on self-care and not just traveling, food, health, exercising. All of that combined together can help when it comes to self-care.
Yeah,
and
so
your spirituality,
true.
because I did see someone comment about that. When you're in your quiet space, that can also help with that as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a big fact. But so Kia, do you think that as people who are more geared toward doing things or providing services like hair care, skin care, things like that, we provide these services on a regular basis, but I've noticed that I am not as aggressive about doing it for myself as I
Oh.
would be for someone else. Like I'll half do it for myself. Like it's time to shampoo my locks, and normally if it was a client, I might detox if they needed and do all of these deep cleanses and all of that extra stuff, deep conditioner they get under the dryer. We're gonna make sure their locks are dry after I retwist them. But when it comes to me, it's just kind of like 2 days later and my hair is bone dry because all I did was have a chance to put shampoo on it. And I rubbed a little moisturizer and my hair just that right up when it went on there.
I mean,
So,
absolutely. I'm if I treated my hair the way I treat my clients' hair, I probably would have a lot more of it on my head. But it's just that one of those things, like I tell everybody else what to do, but then no, I don't. Like for me, it's like quick in the shower, shampoo, get out. You know me. I'm gonna throw a wig on or a weave and a heartbeat. I ain't got time to be playing with my hair.
girl, please let me get that moisturizer and bring these this new growth down, and then make
Okay.
sure it lays where it looks presentable. It is what it is. But yeah, taking that for granted, the idea that somebody else could just do something as basic as give you a shampoo or something as simple as do your toes. I would sit in this house and be doing my own toes, but it's just not the same as when
But
I
it
go
was
and put my
different
feet in the
too.
water.
It was different too in our industry because before, like, you worked in a salon with other women. So we would be more prone to do each other. But,
Right.
COVID got everybody in a suite now. Nobody is at the salon. If you go to
One
the
client
salon,
at a time.
if you go to salons, it's one person at a time. There's not many stylists that are like working together. So that it becomes a task to be like, girl, can you come over here and do this? Or I'm going to come over there by you. Our hours are crazy. So it's like, I really do have to force myself to take that self-care time. Like I have to say, okay, Thursday morning, I'm cutting it off. I'm going to get my nails and whatever done, because if not, it's not going to happen. Just like for your wedding. I was doing hair, doing make, helping with this, doing this. My curls, I look so bad to myself.
Girl, we need to dedicate
I took that time
a day
to get everybody else pretty. And then I'm
and talk
sitting there
about
like,
that.
I ain't got no curls.
Because on my wedding day, anybody who knows me, they know my nails are always just like above and beyond. On my wedding day, my nails were clear. Not only clear, they were clear and square. So with that, it's just like, on my wedding day, it was just some self-care things that I just allow other people to be ahead of me. There was a quote that I shared in one of our ads that went out leading up to this moment. Michelle Obama actually said it. We need to put ourselves higher on our own to-do list. So a takeaway, if we were to give something to the people who are viewing us or the people who joined in with us tonight, by the way, thank you so much for tuning in this evening. If you are viewing us on YouTube, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on those notifications so you know every time we go live. If you're viewing us on Facebook, please do just the same. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, and go ahead and follow us on Facebook, The Melanin Mindset, as we wrap up this evening. Okay, so what I was saying is that sometimes we just take certain things for granted. But with that quote that Michelle Obama said, with make sure you put yourself higher on your own to-do list. If I were to give a takeaway, right? If I were to give a takeaway on self-care, I would say, number one, do not allow finances to cloud your efforts in the area of self-care. Self-care can be completely free, because as we shared at the opening, it's simply just taking an active role in protecting your own well-being and happiness. And this is during times of stress. COVID was a huge stressor to all of us. And it's not just one over the other. We all felt the shake of COVID, okay? Even with the migration working from home. Some people, I already worked from home, so it didn't really shake me up much. But some people went from being social engagers in a work atmosphere to now they're locked in a house alone talking to a computer screen. You know what I'm saying? So if I were to give one takeaway, it would definitely be to make sure that you don't allow finances to be a hindrance to you and your desire to care for yourself. You deserve to be the highest thing on your list of to-dos. Would you all like to give some feedback to them? What would you give them as a takeaway?
You ain't say who to go. Was I supposed to go? Was Alan supposed to go?
Whoever started talking.
Yeah, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I was my biggest self-care thing for myself has been like similar to what Marquita was saying, was like the silence and praying and meditation and really listening to my own thoughts and my own process, and just moving from there. I also think it sounds cliche and corny, but self-care books and videos and motivational stuff will really help you get your mind in a space that says, I can do these things for myself. So that would be my takeaway. Like, take that time and spiritually connect with yourself.
Yes, that spiritual connection is everything.
Spiritual connection is everything. I definitely agree with the motivational as well. I literally have a motivational track that I listen to twice a day. That's to get my mind centered and to keep myself uplifted. Also, I've definitely learned, as much as people say, take every second, enjoy every minute, I don't think we truly take that to heart. My takeaway is like, really do apply that to your life. Don't try and rush the day by. Take every minute that you can, every second that you can to build yourself. Because one thing we don't realize is with the self-care that we do for ourselves, it also helps for those that are outside and are around us in our bubble. Because when you're feeling good and you're making sure that you're on point, 9 times out of 10, people won't have to worry about your friends seeing that nasty, dark side of you coming out, because you're always not necessarily in chill mode, but you always have a clear head. You have a clear mind, clear spirit, clear heart. And if you have a significant other and kids and a family and stuff, that can play dividends in you having a peaceful house. Because if you're sitting there and your spirit and your brain and your heart is in turmoil, 9 times out of 10, that entire house is feeling the same thing, because they're feeling the same vibrations that you're dealing with. So my takeaway is definitely focus on your spirituality, your mental health, to make sure that you're grounded, centered, so that can help impact those that are around you as well.
Awesome. Well, I want everyone to go ahead and give it up one time for Alan joining us this evening to give us a male perspective. Thank you so much, Alan. We really appreciate having you here with us this evening and sharing with our viewers about the male perspective to self-care.
Yes,
So next week, we will be back here, same place, same time, but we're going to be talking about friends versus family. We're going to be talking about friends versus family next week. So if you like to find out the angle that we're about to cut or the corner we are about to turn next week, please go ahead and tune in with us. Please tune in with us at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, right here on YouTube if you're viewing us on YouTube, or Facebook if you're viewing us on Facebook. I haven't seen a comment from Twitter. Listen, y'all, if you're following us on Twitter, we don't know how to tweet yet. So we're going to figure this thing out, all right?
Yeah.
We're going to figure Twitter out, all right? We're going to figure Twitter out. So, but as of right now, if you're viewing us on Twitter, you're a real one, because there is not a hashtag to be found anywhere near this video.
I kid not.
So if you are viewing us on Twitter, you are a real one, and you really do like us, and that's a good thing. All right,
Yes.
So please make sure you share this video before you go, but hang tight. We really want to give some space to our amazing special guest to just tell you a little bit about him, where you can follow him if you'd like to stay connected with Alan as well. Take it away, Alan.
If you want to be a Cocoa Puff.
Right, if you want to be a Cocoa Puff, right? Oh my gosh, if you want to be a Cocoa Puff, I'm a Cocoa Puff. I'm done.
So my name's Alan Newman Jr. You can find me on Facebook at Alan Newman Jr. You can find me on Instagram. I have 2 Instagram pages. The first one is Newman_Jr_2.0. That page is more like a freelance page. If you're looking for a good laugh, you can follow that page. If you're looking for something more serious and inspirational, that will be my Newman's Hot Takes page on Instagram. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at Newman's Hot Takes as well. So check me out on Twitter.
Is that shade?
No.
You notice boo button works. Remember the boo button from earlier?
There was no shade. Because I'm going to find you guys on Twitter so I can follow you. And as they alluded to,
and give us some tips.
As they said, if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, you'll definitely notice that my Newman's Hot Take page is definitely dedicated to my melanated kings and queens, especially on providing a safe space for my Black women to be their authentic self. I did drop a book about 1.5 years ago called Black Women and Why I Love Them. You can actually go and follow the link on Instagram if you would like to purchase one. I'm just here to motivate and see Black people be great, see our queens be loved the way they need to be and authentically the way they should be loved. And that's all I have. I do have a devotional guide that I'm currently working on of affirmation, so that'll be dropping pretty soon as well. So keep a lookout for that. And other than that, that is it.
All right.
Well,
if you're tuning in with us and watching live, please, if you're watching the playback, you should see it down in the description box below now. I'm going to get all that information from Alan, and I'm going to plug it in our description down below. So when you watch the playback, you'll be able to find all of those awesome bits and pieces. I have Alan's book. It is a good book. Please know he apparently has a lot of reasons why he loves Black women. Okay. So he definitely has a lot of reasons why he loves Black women. So read his books. You get encouraged. Listen, he got a book. Listen.
Look who I found on Twitter.
Worth.
Look who I found on Twitter.
Oh, you found us on Twitter. Thank you.
Look who I found on Twitter. Let me hit that follow button.
Yes, so glad you found us on Twitter. Please help us, please. All right. So with that being said, thank you all so much for tuning in this evening. Kia, you got anything else to say?
Nope. Good night, and I'll see you next week for Family versus Friends. That's gonna be fun.
Yes, it'll be a lot of fun, because guess what's coming up this week on Thursday? Thanksgiving. So I'm sure you all are going to have lots of conversation to give us next week when we talk about friends versus family. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in to the Melanin Mindset. You have a blessed day and have a very happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Everyone have a